who don't know me, I love everything purple. I think you can see a lot of purple in my background and stuff. I want my whole world to be purple. I am absolutely obsessed with tea, but there's no rehab, so they can't slow me down. I am very connected with Mother Nature. I very much love my babies. They make me very happy. I spend time playing with them and talking to them and giving them water and giving them love. And in return, this one I've had for like almost a year, and it's giving me more shoots. It's constantly growing. My beautiful money tree. They just never stop. And it just makes me so happy nurturing them. And between my 4 birds, this is Rukia, and all my plants, I pretty much have a tropical forest in my house. I wanted to talk about free agency. As I was working with clients and doing the work myself, I realized how much free agency we really don't have, how much free agency we don't give each other, how much we think that we have free agency, but we actually truly, in fact, don't have as much free agency as we think we do. And we actually give away our own free agency, which is something that I became aware of. So I'd like to broach all of those different aspects to discuss it. So society gives us the illusion of free agency because we can choose what we want to do for a vocation. We can live where we want to live. That being said, there are clearly certain vocations that are associated with a higher stature than others. If you are a doctor or a lawyer or a real estate agent or I don't know, there's a number of jobs that have high status associated with it, and it's just assumed that you're very well educated, that you're very intelligent, and that you're successful in making really good money. And so obviously it kind of takes free agency from us because we feel like in order to be able to be accepted by the tribe, we have to go for these high status jobs that are going to help us be accepted. Because really everything is about gaining acceptance and becoming a part of a tribe. So you're going to do what the tribe is essentially dictating, right? And so it's not necessarily taking our free agency as it is kind of, binding us and pushing us in a certain direction. I notice when I'm working with people that a lot of people really struggle with leaving the job that they're in to do something that society doesn't necessarily support, if that makes a lot of sense. So it's hard to go against the grain and to go against what society is dictating or what will gain you more status and acceptance within society. And it's important to see and acknowledge that for what it is. If society is pushing you to go to university, well, does it make sense to spend $100,000 and graduate in huge debt if it really isn't what you're passionate about? If you're doing it for status, then you might want to think about getting your education in a more affordable way and doing something else. There are absolutely locations where you really do need to get a university education. I would really hope that my doctor has gone to university and has proper training, for sure. There are absolutely vocations that need proper university education, and there are a lot of vocations that you can get your education outside of the traditional schooling model, which costs a fortune. And in the world today, it's better to be more free thinking and be looking outside of the traditional model and what society is dictating to look for answers, such as when I was younger, coming out of the family that I came out of, society dictated that in order for me to get resolution on the abuse that I suffered and the emotional issues that I had because I came out of a really messed up family, I had to go and see a psychologist or a counselor. Those are the only options because that's what society accepts as an authority when it comes to healing your emotional state. I got absolutely no resolution after seeing many of them. They didn't support my self-love, my expansion, my confidence. They didn't give me resolution on anything. I saw many and it didn't give me the answers that I was looking for. So it really did almost kind of take my free agency when you think about it, because the answers are just handed to you and you're told to go in that direction. And if you don't stop and think about it, you will. You'll just go in the direction that you're told. It wasn't until I was actually in a car accident and my son decided to leave me as a result of my mother, let's call it brainwashing him. And my boyfriend's father had been diagnosed with liver cancer, was in the hospital. My dad had tried to commit suicide. There was a whole bunch of stuff going on. So when I felt like an egg that was going to crack into a million pieces if you tap me with your pinky finger, I realized that maybe looking outside of the system was what I needed to do. Now, I did see a couple of psychologists and then didn't get any resolution. And then I started looking for other answers. And at the same time, the spiritual practice that I had been raised in also was ripped out from under me in a conversation that I had with my dad that made it impossible for me to believe in it anymore. So I went on this journey to explore my spirituality and to look for answers to deal with my emotional state. And it actually was in looking to energy healing through the spiritual journey and in looking at hypnotherapy and the power of the subconscious mind that I was able to get the resolution that I got. And I did do outside of the box education because my education was online. I got my clinical hypnotherapy certification online and then used my lash clients to practice. So I had people that were coming in my house all the time to practice on. So it was perfect. It worked out really, really well because I was able to do the practical quite easily. And then of course you have a tutor that you work with as well. Now my energy healing certification, one of them was in a class, and then the other ones, my emotion code, body code certifications were done online because Dr. Bradley Nelson is somewhere down in the States, right? So obviously I had to do that online. And I had clients again that I was able to practice on to support the practical work. I was able to get the certifications that I need and be able to support my own expansion and healing and to be able to create the 7-step program that I have created with a significant amount of less time and money than psychologists, psychiatrists, and counselors spend on going to school. Now, I am not going to tell you that psychologists and psychiatrists and counselors are useless. My personal experience is that they haven't gotten me what I was looking for in results. I know from talking to other people that there are absolutely some brilliant specialized psychologists and psychiatrists and counselors that really do honor the spiritual and do honor the power of the subconscious mind and are specialized in doing some really amazing work with like PTSD and anxiety and trauma and stuff that and extreme psychosis that is really amazing. So don't think for a second that I'm saying that I don't have respect for those industries and people who work in that industry or their education. That being said, what I ended up doing and the training that I ended up going for and pursuing got me the answers that I was looking for. And over the 5 years that I've been practicing with clients, almost 6 years now, I've been able to create a beautiful holistic program that supports my clients really on all levels and aspects of their life. It's holistic. If you're dealing with, however, extreme psychosis, absolutely go and see somebody who is very specialized, because I don't deal with things like multiple personality disorder and schizophrenia and those kind of things, for sure. That is outside of my scope of practice. The point, though, however, is that I had to look out of society's teachings and use my own free agency to find my own path and let go of what society thought of me and the direction that I was going in and any judgment, and really not care. And I've been able to create the practice that I have today. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was how we actually give our free agency. Now, this really comes from a place of not wanting to own our own power or a lack of trust within ourselves. A lot of people really don't self-communicate and they lack trust in their own judgment. And it's actually something that I've had to work with clients over, the last 5 years, many of my clients, teaching them how to self-communicate and how to create trust within themselves and the answers that they're getting, and being able to act on those answers. So in all reality, it's so much easier to hand your free agency over to somebody else that you consider to be an authority, get them to tell you what to do, and then go and do it. However, it's not the answer. You're going to get better answers. You're going to get better results in your life if you self-communicate, if you listen to yourself and you act on your own promptings. You know yourself better than anybody else. You are an expert on you. So to turn to somebody else who doesn't know you the way that you do to give you answers and to tell you what to do in your life, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And this is what I work on teaching clients, is that you are the expert. You're the one who knows everything about you, and you just have to learn how to access it. So be very aware of when you are handing your free agency over to somebody else so that they can tell you what to do with your life. Maybe ask yourself and think about doing a little self-communication. We also, from a place of love and wanting to rescue, can take other people's free agency. A lot of times when you see people that are struggling and are in pain, you want to rescue them. I need a sip of tea. Here's the challenge though. If you rescue somebody from their refining fire or the challenge or whatever it is that they're going through, you're taking their free agency. And that person from a place of being disempowered will hand over their free agency knowing that you're going to rescue them and make life easier. The problem with that is that we have chosen our refining fires. We've chosen our challenges. There's powerful lessons to be learned from what it is that we're going through. So it's really important to make sure that you pull yourself out of your own refining fire, that the people that you're coming into contact with, if they're in a refining fire, let them pull themselves out of that refining fire so that they can learn the lessons that they need to learn. Allow them to keep their free agency. And the other factor here too is if you rescue somebody from their refining fire, and you may have experienced this before, they're just gonna get mad at you, they're gonna rebel against you, and they're gonna go run back into their refining fire because they didn't actively make the choice to do it themselves. They need to learn the lessons from pulling themselves out of their own refining fire. So what I do in support of my friends and my clients and stuff is I hold space for them, I listen to them, I ask them questions, and I empower them to find the answers for themselves to pull themselves out of their refining fire, and I cheerlead them. That's what it's all about. It's about empowering that person and cheerleading them so that they can do the work themselves, and then they learn the lessons and they're stronger and more expanded and aware as a result. So these are just the different aspects of free agency that I wanted to share with you guys. I know yesterday I was talking about the concept of trust. So I wanted to share this with you guys for you to take a hot minute and think about free agency for a second. Maybe on a deeper level that you haven't thought about it before. I think tomorrow we're doing a photo shoot for my course material. We're going to be getting together actually in this room to do a photo shoot. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do a video for you guys tomorrow. I might maybe after the photo shoot. But what I'd like to talk to you guys about next is the concept of vulnerability, because that is another word that I think should really be explored. So thank you so much for playing with me, you guys. I really look forward to all of you guys who view my video, giving me feedback and letting me know what you think about the information that I'm sharing with you. And let me know what you think about my background, if it's relaxing. Sorry, my little bird is being so loud. And just to let you guys know, if any of you are curious about my teachings, my program, and potentially working with me, I do a free discovery session. We can do a phone call and get to know each other, and then I do a free discovery session, which is a 2-hour session that allows for me to get to know you and you to get to know me, and you can decide whether I'm a person that wants to hold space for you or not. So again, thank you so much. Oh, you can look me up on Facebook at Harmony Woodington. It's just under my name. I also have a website, harmonywoodington.com. I'm on Instagram at Harmony and W and with an E. And yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, and then I'm going to be starting to do videos on YouTube as well. So I will share all of my social media and stuff so that if you're interested in learning more from me as I put all of this together and create my setup and stuff, you can continue to work with me, support me, encourage me, and learn from me would be really great. Okay guys, I love you all, and I'm going to turn all of my cameras off by getting up because I don't have a cameraman. So cheers to you all. Mwah.